Welcome back to Real Estate Circuit Builders, Brokers, and Beyond podcast. I'm your host, Kim Mashik, a mortgage broker with Nexa Mortgage. And today I have with me Bryan Bolduc.
Sure.
Bold, you can correct me. With Coldwell Banker Realty. He's a real estate agent as well as a building sales improvement consultant. Welcome to the
Thank you.
show.
Glad to be here.
So tell me a little bit about yourself and how long you've been in the industry.
Thank you. My name is Bryan Bolduc or Bolduc, and I've been in real estate all of my adult life. I got my license first in college, and then I went into new home sales for about a dozen years. Took about a decade off to be home with the kids, and then got back into residential resale in the last 10 years, give or take.
Cool. Cool. And can you tell us a little bit about what a builder consultant or a builder sales improvement consultant is and what they do? Just for everybody out there.
A builder sales improvement consultant is a made-up term that I made up after doing new home sales on site for about a dozen years and then going into residential resale. I have combined the two and now look to do contract on-site sales, 90-day contracts with builders to turn around a community that's not making their numbers.
Okay. Are you currently working with a builder right now?
Yes, I am currently working with Cardel Homes, working on the community Westminster station, right next to the Westminster light rail station.
Okay. Well, if someone in Westminster, of course, but if someone were to want to come look at some of those, I mean, obviously they could reach out to you, but where would they go specifically? Like the area?
The area, the exact address for one of the model homes is 2718 West 68th Avenue in Westminster. Actually, technically, it's Denver. Don't quote me on that address. It's close. GPS.
I'm sure they'll see it.
But it is a 10-minute walk from the Westminster light rail station, so a quick loop down to downtown Union Station.
Okay. That's a pretty ideal location.
It's nice. It's right next to Midtown, which is a very popular community in Westminster.
Very cool. So you do new builds mostly, or have you done, I mean, obviously you do all of it, but is new build kind of your focus
Right
always?
now, it
Okay.
is, yes, I am focusing primarily on getting the site turned around, so working with buyers to buy the community and helping the builder get it sold. But I think more to your question, I work for Coldwell Banker, and through Coldwell Banker, I'm doing this contract position with Cardel Homes. Hope that answered it.
It is, yeah. And then, I mean, because I know a lot of times people are on the fence buying new, buying something that someone's already lived in. And I know that a lot of times the new builds are easier to get into in a sense because, if you're buying it pre-build, there's no one fighting for it,
True.
right? But I mean, are
And
these already built or are they
we got both. We've got standing inventory, which are homes that can close within 30 days or less if you're paying cash, to 3 months if you're buying one at drywall or foundation, or it could be, 6 months, give or take, if you're going from dirt on up. So we've got 41 townhomes remaining that are built and to be built in this community.
cool? That is great. So, I mean, I guess what in your mind it differs from buying a brand new home versus a resale?
Well, with a brand new home, you get to choose how it finishes typically. Uh, from when you get in there and paint to, depending on when you buy, flooring, countertops, appliances. The biggest thing that I love to tell people, which isn't what an old sales manager told me, is do you want to buy a used home where there's going to be old toenail clippings in the rug, or a brand new home that only your use with myself?
It's a big thing to think about.
That'll never get out of your head now. Just
It will not. It will not. And now everyone that goes out and looks at a resale home is going to be watching for that too. Um,
oh, you don't need to watch what they're there.
is there something that you can tell us that people should kind of be aware of or kind of know before they walk into a model home? Is there anything specific, I guess?
Just when you're buying a home, anytime, the biggest thing I'd recommend is to talk to a lender, to talk to him, to be pre-qualified. Because the worst thing is to get in and fall in love with a home and not be able to, or not know whether you can qualify for it. So you should know, you know, what your parameters are, finances, timeline, I mean, all the things. So the more prepared you can be walking in, the better.
I think that's a pretty valid point because I personally have dealt with people, being a mortgage broker, that have gone and looked at houses well beyond what they could afford because they thought they could afford it. And now everything they're looking at is they're comparing it to the home they can't afford. And so
Mhm.
they're not satisfied with anything.
Right.
I mean, that's kind of where I think that makes the biggest sense,
Yeah,
but also,
before you go,
yeah,
know what you're looking for, know why you're looking, and what are your goals.
right. Well, and that's too is like if you get your pre-approval, for example, before you go look at a new build, and there is some wiggle room there, then you could talk about upgrades and things of that nature.
Yeah.
Um, I mean, I guess I shouldn't say this. I'm going to ask you this. Does the builder that you're currently work for offer upgrades? I'm sure they do, but like what kind of things would people be paying for um, that don't come with the current homes that you're working?
Well, again, it really depends on how far along the home is. So if it's a home that is ready to go, that's going to be able to move in within 30 days, it's just like a resale, essentially. You're buying it how it stands. So the carpet's already in, the countertop's already in. If it includes appliances, and most of mine that are finished do. Um, if it's going to close within 30 days, there's not a lot of things you can do to upgrade it. The house is ready for you. If you're buying a home, for example, we have three that are at drywall hold. So we built it up to drywall and then we stopped it so that a buyer who wants to choose their cabinets, their flooring, their countertops, their appliances, they have that option. But it's going to take a little bit longer, obviously, because
Sure.
you've got to order and then do it, put it all
Yeah. I mean, that makes a whole lot of sense. And I mean, I know you're working for Cardell
in. Cardel Homes.
right now, but across the board, like what would someone kind of look out for or ask the right questions for, if you will, to choose the right builder if they're like starting from ground up?
That's a tricky question. I've worked for a number of national and regional builders, and there are some that I would definitely stay away from. I think we'll say that
Of course not.
on the record. But to your question, any good realtor will know which builders to look at and maybe steer you away from a little bit in the area that you're looking. Um, with that said, I am a realtor with Coldwell Banker and helping out Cardel Homes, which is
For good things.
they're a good builder. Some of the larger builders are great, some not so great.
And where all is, because I think we've talked about this before, where all are they? Because they're not just building here in Colorado, right?
No, they are technically an international builder. They
Okay.
are based out of Calgary or Quebec. They've got two areas that they build in Canada, and then they build in Colorado and Florida right
Cool. Not Texas or
now. Not currently.
okay. Just checking for my other listeners out there.
Yep.
So I can get a ton. Is there, I mean, I'm sure I hear a lot of builders that make, or they have incentives for people looking to buy like concessions and things of that nature. Does
Sure.
Cardell offer those things?
Yeah, they've just put together some great beginning of the year incentives. We are currently offering a 4.99% fixed 30-year rate interest on our homes that can close by February 28th, 2026. And currently we have about a half a dozen of we have two different floor plans with one variation on each. So kind of like four floor plans. And yeah, so we've got some great homes available with an incredible interest rate, prices reduced, not a whole lot of option incentives because you talked about there's a whole lot you can do option wise in a finished home.
In like concessions at all? Do they offer like help with the closing costs or?
We do. We do offer help with closing costs. We've got that interest rate, so we've got different monies that you can either use to keep the price reduced. It's kind of flex money, if you will. So we've reduced the prices. We're giving this interest rate. If you want, we have an offer that will cover closing costs. And for all you brokers out there, real estate brokers, real estate agents, realtors, consultants, all y'all. We are currently offering a 3.5% broker compensation on these homes that can close by February 28th, 2026.
Oh well.
On the closed price.
No working for two anymore, or two and a half, like a lot of
Not on the
people.
base price, the closed price.
Oh, there you go. Um, let's see. I mean, is there anything else that you can tell me about the consulting side?
Like I said, this is a position that I have been working on, thinking on for well over a dozen years, and it's relatively new. It's a work in progress, but so far so good. The time I've had with Cardell, I mean, they are looking to make some changes and improvements, so it's been a great fit. I'm doing 90-day contracts, so my goal is to take what's been done before, tweak it, improve it, and then go to the next contract, be it signing on again with them, the next builder. My goal is to, come in, fix it, flip it, and go on to the next one.
Well, you're good at your job, so I'm sure you'll sell a ton.
I like to think so.
Yeah. Well, and for any builders out there, I guess, how would they approach you or find you? Do you have a website or do you, I mean, I'll have your phone number and stuff in this description of this podcast, but like,
Yes, I do have a website through Coldwell Banker. It is beboldrealty.com. Play off of my name. Um, Not pure arrogance. And I can also be reached by my email, which is b.bold@cbrealty.com.
cool. And I'll have that all in there as well.
Appreciate that.
But also, how do you find the builders that you work with? I mean, what entices you to reach out to them or
I do a lot of networking. So I'm with the Builder Realtor Council. I just signed on again with the Denver Metro Association of Realtors. EMAR. Shameless plugs. I network elsewhere. So that and just I was gonna say they're all on the phone, but those don't exist anymore.
put a lot of them in here that I can, I guess. Um, I mean, a lot of times I hear misconceptions around I don't want to buy new because actually I don't. I think I hear the opposite. I don't want to buy a resale home because not because of the fingernail clippings or anything, but
Well, that too.
just because
It's a used home.
be some issues. And I mean, I'm going to switch directions a little bit now. And I know your main focus right now is new builds, but um, can you tell our listeners, like in the past that you've done like resale homes, have you ran into anything that people should kind of be on the lookout for? And I'll give you an example of one so you can think about it for a second that I've heard about and that I've actually had a buyer of mine or a borrower, I guess I should say, of mine come across, which was the septic, or
Okay.
not septic, I guess, the sewer system. It wasn't snaked or whatever you want to call it. And so they didn't know there was a break in it until they bought it.
Okay.
And then they had issues come up because they either decided to pass on their inspection or maybe their inspector didn't do that piece because they didn't want them to, or whatever the case may be. Has there been anything in your past that,
Well, I will tell you on that, and a misconception with new builds is the inspection. I've worked for builders, a national builder whose name I will not name, used to tell us that the home does not need to have a home inspection because it's brand new. Why would you need to have it inspected? With that, I new resale, commercial, you name it, always get a home inspection. Always, always, always get that sewer scope because that'll tell you exactly what they didn't see. During COVID and that crazy boom, there were people that were bypassing inspections. That can cost a homeowner tens of thousands of dollars. If you're old enough to have seen is it the Money Pit with Tom Hanks and
oh shit, I know what you're talking about. I don't remember
yeah,
for sure. Someone can put it in the comments.
yeah, right.
Uh,
Don't do that.
Let me know. I don't mind.
Something to that effect. Anyhow, always get a home inspection. Always get pre-approved. Always call Brian and Kim.
Yes. Well, I mean, I think a lot of people think that the appraisal covers some of that
Oh
stuff, and
no,
I've
not at all.
absolutely not. Like the appraisal, and I'm not even going to get into the details there because I'm not an appraiser. I'll probably have one on here at some point, but they don't look into some of those things. I mean, they make sure that your lights work and your sinks turn on and your toilet flushes, I believe, or that it's at least in place. I know on the floor because if it's moved off of the floor, it's
Really?
more visual.
I
I
mean,
could
they
say.
get most of their stuff online nowadays. So with that said, they're not always physically looking at the home anymore. I mean, because of the algorithms now, they don't necessarily have to. Now, they're doing their company, the lenders, a disservice potentially by not getting out there. But no, don't depend on an appraisal alone.
Um, Speaking back to your closing times, I know you said 30 days. I know that I can close in less than 30
Yeah, I would say, I mean, as quick as Kim can close, and the quickest I've ever heard is somewhere between 2 and 3 weeks, typically on any home closing. You're looking at about 30 days, give or take, which can be brought down a little bit, but
days.
I usually count on 30 to
Sure.
45.
Well, and I would say, correct me if I'm wrong here, but I would say, like with a new build, because you aren't necessarily competing with a bunch of different offers.
Mhm.
Correct me if I'm wrong there, because I don't deal with that side of things. I only see it once they're under contract most of the time. But correct me if I'm wrong. If you're buying a new home, you're typically not dealing with those bidding wars.
Typically
So,
not. And if you are, that home could sell, but there's always another
right.
until you get to closeout, which so typically not dealing with a bidding war. Um, Builders have their own rules, if you will, in which you pretty much lock up a home once you're ready to go, put a deposit down, and then you're going through the steps. But as for closing, I mean, you can close as quick as the lender and the title company and get it all in. So
Well, and keep that
that's
in
the
mind. I
fun
mean,
thing.
there's not really a whole lot of betting wars going on at the moment, but I don't know. I mean, we may see that next month. I mean, you never
It's
know.
coming.
So keep in mind the new builds. Definitely hit up Brian. And I mean, in regards to new builds, if in fact you do get one, I'll just say this real quick with the locking locking a rate, for example,
Hmm.
whether you're before his deadline with 4.99 or not, like if you end up getting into a new home or under contract on a new home that isn't complete,
Hmm.
I mean, a 90-day lock pretty much costs the same as a 30-day,
Yeah.
and you don't have to lock as soon as you submit. So, like, if you were to work with me and we submit your loan file,
Hmm.
maybe you think rates are going to come down in that 90 to 120 days, depending on how long it's going to take to complete the house.
Hmm.
We can float that rate.
Okay.
And if we do it for longer than the 90 days, a lot of times there is a float down option. So it will cost money, but you don't have to lock yourself in as soon as you get under contract with a new build, because there is sometimes some time for that too. So just so you know that, I don't think a lot of people do.
Nope, that's a little bit of new information for me too.
Mhm.
Thank you.
Yeah. Well, and we also have the buy down.
Hmm.
I don't know if you know the difference between a buy down of a rate and a buy down. That's why I try to name it different. You can buy down the rate, or there's a
Which is,
buy down
I think what the builder currently is offering is a buy down of the rate for the totality of the loan.
permanent. Yes.
Yes, versus the 0, 1, 2, 1,
Right.
3, 2, 1, which I know a little bit about that stuff, enough to get sued. Um, I prefer out quickly when.
Well, the only reason that I bring it up is because if you're buying down the rate, which I know it can be confusing, they need to come up with a different term.
Mhm.
If you're buying down the rate, that's typically for the full 30 years.
Okay.
But if you're doing a buy down, you can do a 1-0 or a 3-2-1, which basically means that you're buying that rate down for 3 years. If it's a 3-2-1 buy down, you're buying that rate down for 3 years. And the first year, so if you're ending up locking a 6%, let's say, because that's about where we are today,
Mhm.
high fives, I'll just use six because it's easier. If you're doing a buy down for a 3-2-1 and you lock your rate at 6%,
Mhm.
your first year of your loan, you'll be paying 3%.
Okay.
Second year, you're paying 2%. Third year, you're paying 1% difference. So I said that wrong. First year, you'd be paying 3%. Second year, you'd be paying 4%. Third year, you'd be paying 5%. And then from year four on, you'd be paying that full 6%. So a lot of times that's good for people who maybe that's not your forever home.
Yeah.
Maybe you're in the service and you're only going to be
Hmm.
in Colorado for 3 years. That might be a great option because you're saving a bunch of money.
Hmm.
So what that 3-2-1 stands for is your six minus three.
Okay.
It's a lot of them.
All right.
Whole YouTube video on what all this means and visuals, so it makes a lot more sense. So the point being, there's a lot of different programs out there and can find you the right one. But
Yep.
anyway, got a little off track there. Do you have anything else that you would like to talk about today on your consulting side or your resale real estate side?
Right. Just talking about my kids, it's so much easier and more fun.
You're gonna buy some?
I know. So
Okay.
let's skip that.
All right. Well,
No, Coldwell Banker has been phenomenal. They are a reputable company. I think they're one of the oldest brokerages. And funny thing is, that's who I started with in college.
go
Got
ahead.
my license with way back in the 90s. Mm,
If you didn't hear that, I'll put that in the.
do not. Uh, and then it's funny, I just came back to them last year after a long stint with Keller Williams. So Coldwell's great. Cardel Homes has been phenomenal. I recommend checking them both out. Cardell builds primarily in the south, with Westminster Station being their furthest north
North.
build.
Okay.
And they are townhomes, 2 to 3 bedrooms, ranging from about 1,500 to 1,700 square feet. It's the fancy 3-story townhomes with the garage, little bonus space downstairs, family room, kitchen, dining on the main floor, and then bedrooms and or lofts and laundry
Cool.
on the third.
Is there? I'm sure they have a website I can
They
share
do.
with these
They
guys.
do.
Okay.
The website
You don't have to remember it. I can put it in
It's gonna be in
the
the notes, but
yeah, I can put it in the description for you guys, but
I want to say
um
it's Westminster Station at cardelhomes.com. But check
we'll
the
find
notes.
we'll find it. Well, thank you so much, Brian, for coming,
Thank you.
and
I appreciate it.
see you on the next video. Thank you.
Thank you.